What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Real Ones Canes podcast. The man who is next to me virtually is Cam Underwood. Cam is the managing editor at StateofTheU. Go check it out, stateoftheu.com, the absolute best site. Go get your Miami Hurricanes coverage 24/7, 365, and it is free, which is
great price.
The magic word that everyone likes to hear. You can follow Cam on the Twitter at Underwood Sports. I'm Brian the Beast London. You can follow me at Miami Radio Beast. Cam, oh, it's an exciting time of year. We've got so much going on in the month of March here. And we will start with basketball. Because we are recording this Wednesday afternoon, just a couple of days from now. Out in St. Louis, Missouri, which we will get to, it is the 7 seed. Miami Hurricanes taking on the 10 seed, the Mizzou Tigers. Again, I said in St. Louis, Missouri, which is 2 hours away from Columbia, Missouri, which would be the place, the locale, where the University of Missouri has their campus in Columbia, Missouri, where I have been to the University of Missouri and Columbia, Missouri, and it's a town. I will say that. It is a town.
It's a college town.
I have not much else to say about Columbia, Missouri, or my time at the University of Missouri, other than it does exist.
Okay. Hey, I mean, look, there's a lot of towns, especially across the Midwest and the South, that would not otherwise exist if not for the institution that calls them home. Thinking places like Starkville, Mississippi, for example. So
correct.
This is one of those, but So congratulations to Miami, first of all, for making the tournament. We talked about last week, they were kind of triangulating that 7 line. I think with that first win in the quarterfinals after the double bye over Louisville, that secured them that 7 seed. Even though the semifinal went terribly.
That was bad.
But yeah, so I mean, firmly in. Maybe I was a little bit late in thinking that they were firmly in. There's at least one person on Twitter. Their website Twitter account is the one that I'm mainly on right now, the StateofTheU, by the way. But he definitely did not let me forget that. Like, oh well, you said that we needed to win to get in. I'm like, I was wrong and I was late. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. But anyways, we're here, we're there. And yeah, it's a very, 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 it's a road game. Like, we might as well play it on campus in Columbia, if we're being honest. Pretty outrageous.
It is. I'm handing out the air quotes when I say it's a neutral site game.
Yeah, okay.
But it is not.
At all. I mean, it's one of the closest or the shortest travel distances for any team to their regional or pod, because it's not even regionals anymore. Remember, it's pods. So you have different regions all hosted at the same site now. But whatever.
Can I debunk something before we even get to the game? Because there is a ton of Mizzou fans and also Indiana fans. By the way, they didn't make the tournament. Their basketball team didn't make the tournament. They're the the Hoosier State. They're known for the hoops and all that stuff. They didn't make the tournament. Who are like, well, Miami played in the national championship game at their stadium. And yes, that is true, except for in this instance, there's actually a committee that selected teams to go play at certain sites. So because Miami went through the gauntlet of games they went through in the college football playoff, they, by happenstance, happened to make it to the championship game in the year that the championship game is played at their home stadium, again, by happenstance. No committee selectively put Miami, and matter of fact, they did not play in the Orange Bowl for that reason. They did not get to play in the Orange Bowl at Hard Rock Stadium, but they made it through the gauntlet and made it to the national championship game, which just by chance happened to be at their home stadium. That is because they actually play in a stadium that is worthy of having the national championship, might I add. But the selection committee for the NCAA tournament purposely put Missouri basically at home in St. Louis. So,
intentionally too. It wasn't by habit. They said, "Okay, you go
there."
So it is not the same.
Correct. So all of you can go stuff it. Sorry, Cam. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just had to get that in.
You're good. That was a great addition. Yeah, so playing a road game in the NCAA tournament, not necessarily great. And again, not a neutral site, but like a road game against the other team. They are on Mizzou is on a 4-game losing streak coming into the tournament. So like that, I think that we match up well and can win this game. The thing for me, we got the last freaking window. Like 10:10 earliest
10 p.m. Eastern.
Friday night.
Terrible. Yeah, it's terrible.
Like 10:10 Eastern. Like, and again, look, you play, basketball games when they're played and everything, but like, then you put us that late. Like, why, bro? Like, why? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be up and I'm gonna, then we're gonna have a live stream, or not live stream, excuse me, a game thread on the website. I'll be live tweeting and things like that, yada yada yada. But like, dog, come on, fam. So that's not necessarily great, but hey, anybody, anywhere, anytime. Already 25 wins this year, expecting to get 26 in the first round, and then moving on and likely playing Purdue, the number 2 seed in the second round of the tournament.
Yeah, it's again a lot of people. I mean, I will tell you, and I guess this tells you what I will be picking in the round of 32 should Miami win. I've picked Purdue to win it all in some of my brackets. So it is not an easy road for the University of Miami. I am surprised they did get the 7 seed. All of the projections that I saw before they even played that horrific game in the ACC tournament, all of the projections had me believing that they were going to be an 8 or 9 seed. They got the 7 seed, which was higher than I thought. But they have a tough road being all of the things that you just mentioned, playing in St. Louis against Missouri, the 10-10 window, all of that stuff. Ken, when I look at this game, it has potential to be an aggravating game for both fan bases because there's a single reason of something that's very important, especially in the postseason, which is neither team can make their free throws. Both teams shoot under 70%. I think they're within, a tenth of a point as far as their free throw percentage. I think 68 point something and 68 point something as far as their free throw percentage for Miami and Mizzou. So that can be aggravating to say the least. I think Miami is actually, the 35,000 foot view, I think Miami is a much more organized offense and a better defensive team. Mizzou, on the other hand, can get really streaky, especially with their shooting. And they've got a kid that started his career at Duke, Mark Mitchell. He's actually from Kansas City, Kansas, so the other side of that state of Missouri, so way to the other side. But Mark Mitchell, who started out at Duke, played 2 years at Duke, has really come on this season, averaging just over 18 points a game. And when he gets hot, they get hot. And you will see a G as in guard by his name, but he's 6'9". So he's one of those kind of talented bigs that handles the ball, and the entire offense goes through him. And he when he gets hot, they motor. When they get hot, they motor. But they have the opportunity to get hot, and sometimes they get cold. And we'll see which Missouri team shows up. But I don't know about you, but I trust Jay Lucas and the staff and this team to defend well in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's how Jay Lucas approaches basketball, and I also approach it the same way. Like it starts on the defensive end, and I take that over to football too. When I talk about making comebacks, I don't say, okay, you got to go score, and then I've always believed in sports in my entire life. Runs start at the defensive end, stops and scores, not scores and stops. Like, that's what I always say. So I believe that, and I think Jay Lucas does as well. This is a game that we should win. I just think that we are a better team. We need to play like it on Friday night late. I need, Malik Renew not to get into early foul trouble.
Yeah, that's
or him or Ernest Uday, both need to not get into early foul trouble, especially because if you're going to Malavich, the freshman, he has a different profile. He's like 6'8", 6'9", but he's more of a 3 than a 4. But if he's replacing Renew, that's a little bit weird. And then Altuntas, the freshman center, he needs to play as little as possible because he's just not ready for prime time yet. And that's okay because I think he has talent and can develop moving forward, but putting him into a big spot if, let's say, Uday were to get in foul trouble and all of a sudden we had to turn to Altuntas, yikes. So you don't need that. The other thing that I need in this game is for Trey Donaldson to remember who he is and play like Trey Donaldson.
Yeah,
because
correct.
his last few games have been, I was going to use a curse term, let me not use it, malarkey, trash,
that's a good
dumpster
one.
Juice. Like
dumpster juice.
Dumpster juice has been his last few games. It's been atrocious. Like, this is a guy who's second team all ACC, did not play like it against Louisville either time, did not play like it against Virginia at all. It took him halfway to the second half to score a point. He's a guy who scores like 16 a game. Like, you need that, but also these turnovers for your lead guard. And like, I was a guard. Like, I played, all of those positions, whether you're on the ball, off the ball, on the wing. Like, when I played, that's what I played. And like, growing up in that era, like, everybody wanted to be like, those of us without incredible height, wanted to be a point guard. You had the legacy point guards from everybody in New York City. I'm from Detroit, so of course Isaiah Thomas, them. You know what I mean? And like, just seeing these flippant turnovers from your lead guard, and then a couple of times Trey Donaldson has turned the ball over and then just quit on the play, pouting on the floor. I can't. Bust it and go run, buddy. Like, and his performance and in sometimes the effort and pouting for poor performance has gotten, we're past my last nerve. But for Miami to have any chance to realize their potential in this tournament, especially in this game to win, Trey Donaldson needs to play like Trey Donaldson, and I would like that to happen. So please wake up. Whatever's going on, leave it outside the gym and go hoop, because recently you haven't been, boss.
I would say this. Trey Donaldson is a senior and capable of playing to the highest levels. He needs to act like it. And this game is going to require that, to say the least. The other thing, when I look at this game, here's one thing. Like, Miami got out-rebounded against Virginia. They can't do that on the defensive glass for them, because Missouri wins when they're able to get a second opportunity after missing a shot, right? They're great at playing their offensive glass and getting a second opportunity and putting the ball back and getting a bucket. Miami can't allow that, which means Miami's going to have to play physical and be the better team inside, which they are very capable of doing if they put their minds to it. I just listen. Miami's a better team if they play their game. If they get taken out of their game,
thank you,
they've got problems.
That right there.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
Fact. I do want to clarify something because I went a little crazy. Trey Donaldson did play well in the senior night game against Louisville. I know people.
Oh yeah, that's right.
11 out of 16 from the floor, 3 out of 6 from 3, 10 out of 8, 8 out of 10 from the stripe, 25 points, 6 assists, 2 steals. Okay, I will correct myself. Right, he did play well there. Since then, though, it's been pretty terrible. So that's that. So everybody who's in the comments, if you've already left a comment in response to my earlier statement about Trey Donaldson,
take it back.
No, you don't even got to take it back. Leave it. We love the engagement. Thanks so much. I admit right now, still on the recording, I was wrong. I looked up the game log. The previous games before that, but then he did play well on senior night, but then in the ACC tournament, not. There, I said it. Boom. We are a good team. We like 2s over 3s, and we should, because we can't shoot 3s. But that means everybody needs to be on their game. That means Shelton Henderson working inside of the arc, whether that's True Washington driving past people and creating space for step backs and things like that. Trey Donaldson actually playing like Trey Donaldson. Obviously, Malik Renew down low, like, feed him all day. First team all ACC. Hello. And I saw also, and I think we noted this, people were talking about, Trey Donaldson actually could and would and should have been first team All ACC, if not for 4 of the top 5 vote getters being forwards. So first team All ACC only had 1 guard on it, but if it had 2 guards, it would have been Trey Donaldson. I need that guy. We need that guy. So please have that guy show up on Friday night so all of us can see it and watch it and enjoy the win.
So it's funny. I did some searching of some of the advanced analytics on this game, and KenPom is a great site if you're looking for some of the advanced basketball analytics when it comes to college hoops. So he's got a win probability model, and it has these 3 scenarios for the game, right? Clean game, even game, chaotic game. And under the clean game scenario, Miami wins 65% to 35% is Miami's chances of winning. Under the even game, so both teams play the game that we think they're going to play. 60% Miami, 40% Missouri. Chaotic game, Missouri comes out on top 55% to 45% because Missouri thrives when it gets chaotic. They want you to play out of your system. They want you to turn the ball over. They want you to miss your shots. They will get the board. So, again, if Miami plays the game that they are capable of playing, they will win the game. That is what the advanced analytics say about this matchup. So that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, we all agree. If you saw my yellow croc flash on the screen, there's a house fly that just came in on the wall, so I had to.
Oh, I thought there was like aliens invading.
No. That's in the book that I'm reading, but hey, that's different. Well, not necessarily aliens invading, but
feel free to make a recommendation on that. All right, we're gonna take a break. We've got some football to get to as spring practice is upon us, as pro day is upon us, all of that jazz. Cam will, I'm sure, tell us what is up at State of the U, because it is the best website, and we have to go there and check out StateofTheU.com. If you're listening to the audio portion, we're going to have a little bit of a commercial break. You have a time to go check out StateofTheU.com. If you're watching the video version, we don't do commercials in the video version, so you're just going to have to wait till the end, and then you can go check out StateofTheU.com. And meanwhile, while you're watching, while you're listening, comment, share, like, subscribe, all of that stuff really helps us to get this thing out to everyone that wants to see some great Canes content. We're going to take a break. We will be back on the other side. You're listening and watching The Real Ones podcast. Welcome back to The Real Ones Canes podcast. He is Cam Underwood, managing editor at State of the U. Go check out the great content, StateofTheU.com. Always open, always free. Go check it out right now. You can follow Cam online on Twitter at Underwood Sports. I'm Brian the Beast London. You can follow me at Miami Radio Beast. Cam, we are recording this Wednesday afternoon. Monday, the 23rd, is when the Miami Hurricanes will have their pro day.
Yep.
We look forward to seeing a plethora of players, potentially probably 3 first-round picks for the Miami Hurricanes, with 2 defensive linemen and an offensive tackle that probably will be the first offensive tackle taken in the draft. We're talking about Maui Noah. We're talking about Bain. We're talking about Mesidor, but plenty of other guys that are looking to help their draft stock, including the quarterback, Carson Beck, who threw well in Indianapolis at the Combine, but didn't do much else. So I look forward to Pro Day. I look forward to seeing these guys. I'm looking forward to Miami having multiple first-round draft picks. And as we have learned, Cameron, the more draft picks we have, the higher, bigger amount of draft picks we have, the better our program is. Because believe it or not, the amount of NFL talent you have on your team correlates to how good your team is in some way, shape, or form.
Wow. Who would have thought? I know. Better players, better plays, better performance?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes,
that's wild.
It all comes together. Yep. There you go.
Look at that. Yeah. So, it'll be interesting, definitely, to see how the guys perform. I'm sure that there are some other guys who did not get invited to the Combine, like a Keelan Marion, like a David Blay, who are going to try to, put on a good show. It'll be interesting to see how consistent the structures are for Pro Day, because while there are top prospects in this class from this team, we had the number 1 overall draft pick a year ago. You know what I mean? So it was very different when everybody and their mama was there. and things like that. So I just want to see how that goes. Interested to see, how Markel Bell performs. He was swamped on the sideline last year when, I heard multiple NFL people were trying to be like, yo, why are you not working out? He was like, I'm coming back to this team. Like, I'm not draft eligible. So I'm interested to see that. I'm interested to see who creates buzz on the sidelines this year. Like, who watches this, who's still on this roster preparing for spring ball, that NFL teams start to kind of gravitate around. Like, who's the Markel Bell lightning rod on the side? Is it Damon Wilson? Is it Hayden Lowe, as he comes back from injury and apparently has gotten rave reviews for his, strength and athleticism coming off of an ACL tear that cost him his, true freshman season, cost him a red shirt? Is it somebody else? Does Keontae Scott light the world on fire in the on-field drills? Is it somebody else? Just those kinds of things that I'm looking for. What are you interested in as a takeaway from senior? Oh, it's not senior day, Lord Jesus, pro day, right?
I'm really rooting for Keontae Scott.
Okay.
And I know you mentioned him, but he became such a leader for the team this year. And even when he was hurt, he was a leader for this team.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to feel good for him about where he is drafted and his opportunity on the next level. That's a guy that I'm really kind of listen. I know Ruben Bain, Francis Maui-Noah, Akeem Mesidor, Markel Bell. They are going to be, I believe they're going to be juggernauts.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the next level, right? So now it's who can rise to the occasion of playing in the league, right?
And I
just like, so like a guy like Keontae Scott is someone that I'm rooting for. Jacoby Thomas is another one on the defensive side. And then, Carson Beck, obviously, I would love. Carson Beck did a great job this year. I mean, okay, everyone's going to remember the last play of his college career, and I will remember it, and it will haunt me forever. But just for a second, if we take the year that he had in totality, we saw amazingness in the beginning. Then he kind of went through some stuff, right? That Louisville game. But then he kind of made his way back to the point where we had that run against Ole Miss that we're never going to forget because that was amazing. And I want that kid to continue to prove his doubters wrong about the kind of quarterback that he can be. And I don't know that he's going to be 10-year starter at the NFL level.
Mm-hmm.
Do I hope that he's, I guess, maybe he will be, but if not, like, can he be a 10-year backup? Can he be a guy that gets some run and does good for himself? Like, I want him to have a good career on the next level to prove the doubters wrong.
How much of that do you think is going to be litigated or firmed up by the performance at senior day or pro day? Keep calling senior day, Lord Jesus.
No,
because I hear you on these things. Like, I want that. Like, I want my team to draft out as Cooper in the third round and he'd start there for 12 years. Well, but how much do you think is going to happen on the
but here's my whole thought process on going to the next level, right? I think a lot of the success, especially of quarterbacks, is a quarterback being in the right spot where there are skill position players, right? But also the right coaching to fit that quarterback. Like, there has to be some entanglement there in order to make it all work, right? Mm-hmm. Like, Cam Ward, we know, is one of the most talented players we've ever seen come through the University of Miami. Nice. He goes to Tennessee with a bad coaching staff and not a hell of a lot of skill talent around him, and they did not do well. And I saw people that do not know anything about Cam Ward lumping all sorts of crap all over him online because they're like, oh, this guy sucks, blah, blah, blah. The Tennessee sucks. Well, that's not really true. He just got put in a bad situation, but often that happens because the worst teams draft at the top of the list. So if Carson Beck can show somebody that is at the pro day, hey, this is what I have, these are the skills that I have, this is the type of leader that I am, this is the type of kid that I am, type of guy that I am, then maybe there's a coach out there that says, you know what? I can mold this into something. I can do something with this. This guy fits into my system, my offense. I know we have these players around him that will make him better. Then I think the pro day is a chance to showcase that to somebody that will then draft him and put him in the right situation. So I think that's how it kind of correlates, right? Like, I don't believe that necessarily, like, if Carson Beck somehow blows the socks off of somebody or everybody in the pro day, that suddenly he's going to be a 10-year starter or 12-year starter in the NFL. It doesn't work like that. But maybe it helps his situation to the point where it fosters his abilities to be better at the next level.
Okay. I think that that's fair. And I appreciate you elaborating on that, both for me and for the show. I thought that was a very good explanation and very good content. That's really about it. For pro day. I mean, we're going to see who does what, how they do it, and everything. It's in the afternoon on Monday, and move on from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about pro day is we're going to have strong reaction, right? Who ran what 40 time, who did X, Y, and Z, that sort of thing, and we'll get some fodder because agents will be out there and they always talk and blah blah blah, and we'll get some fodder, and maybe someone will. Be surprising. Maybe someone won't have a good day. Who knows? But it'll be the reaction to pro day that will get us going. Let's switch focus to spring practice. That starts the next day on the 24th. Yep. And there's a lot to look forward to spring practice. Obviously, the momentum this program is having. Now it's like we went through all of last year, the momentum, going to the national championship game, going through that gauntlet of games that I talked about in the first segment, all of this. Mario has kind of, I think, changed maybe a little bit of the national perception about his coaching abilities. Hopefully he's changed the perception of Miami Hurricane fans about his coaching abilities. And now we see what is next for this program as all of those guys that helped get us to the national championship game go on to the next level. So Cam, I ask you, I will make this a caveat because it might be too easy, right, to answer this question, and I don't want you to take the low-hanging fruit. So which player who is not going to be the starting quarterback of the Miami Hurricanes do you most look forward to seeing have a jump or have some play in spring practice?
I'm going to take out all of the star players, or really.
Yeah, okay. Like, I mean, you're right.
No
like Malachi Tony, right? Like we know what he's capable of, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, do I want to see them take a leap and hit?
Of course.
Sure. Yes. That we're not talking about them. We're talking about other dudes. I already mentioned one. But really near the top of my list is Hayden Lowe.
Hayden Lowe, yep.
5-star recruit in the 2025 recruiting class. Was coming on like gangbusters last year. Tore his ACL up in fall camp. Didn't play at all last season when he probably would have been in the rotation. This is a, Adonis-built dude, 6'5", 230, added weight to his frame, rehabbed, looking strong and explosive. Favorably compared to Kayvon Thibodeau, who went to the same high school as did Hayden Lowe coming out and everything, who was, 5-star All-American, first-round top 5 pick kind of a thing. I want to see that. Like, he is the new toy. Like, let's get that going. So I would say starting there. From this year's recruiting class, number 1 overall player, Jackson Cantwell. Yeah. I want to see him.
That's an easy one.
I think that I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I know he's going to start. And I haven't talked to anybody there, and I don't have any insight. You don't pay what you pay to get the number 1 recruit in the country that he's not going to start.
The biggest question that I think people will want to see on Tuesday is which side of the football is he lined up at?
Right, left or right, exactly. So, I mean, there's that. Also, I'm still just super high on my guy, JJ Dunnigan. He's been getting rave reviews through offseason also since being an early enrollee. Want to see that. For a returning player or two who I want to see take a step forward, if not capital T, capital L, the leap. Again, who are not Malachi Tony or Darian Mensah, because that goes without saying. Insert cornerback here. I think.
Yes.
And I'm pretty agnostic as to which one. It could be Ethan O'Connor. It could be Xavier Lucas. It could be OJ Frederick. It could be, Jabari Antoine. It could be Chris Ewald. It could be nah. I want to see one or more of them take a big step forward for darn sure. On offense, not where I think you think I'm going to go, but like, I want to see if you are made of sterner stuff and how you handle adversity. Running back number 2, Jordan Lyle.
Ooh, that is
because you had about the slumpiest sophomore slump that ever slumped in the history of slumps last year, and you stayed here. And you, so what are you made of? Are you flimsy or are you made of sterner stuff? Are you here for these times that get hard? I'm going to end it on this. There is a video of a speech that Carl Lawson, head coach of Duke women's basketball, gave to her team a couple years ago. And I reference this often. She talked about, wanting to get through adversity and say, okay, eventually it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And the point of her whole speech was, things don't get better. We handle hard better. Jordan Lyle, you are in a spot where you need to handle hard better. Or is you ain't built. I want to see that.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, here's what I got for you. I think of the returners, I will start with defense and tell you, for me, I'm anxious to see this year's version of Justin Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like the sky is the limit for him.
Yes.
And I feel like, just as we saw Bane and Mesidor captivate the country, I think we can see Justin Scott be among the players that captivates the country. He's capable of that.
Yep.
And I want to see that badly. Where you wanted to insert a cornerback, I want to insert linebacker. I need more from that position. So it's something I'll be keeping my eyes on, to say the least. And for newcomers, well, I guess on offense, it includes newcomers and returners, but I want to see the receiving position and what we have there besides Malachi Toney. So whether that's Cooper Barkate or that's Josh Moore, whoever steps up there, I'd like to see.
Cam Vaughn, Davis Jacobs.
Yeah. All of the guys that came in, yes, all of the above. Now, as far as newcomers.
Oh, wait. Let me pause you right here. I just want to ask a quick question. You were talking about linebacker. Mo Toure is back for another year. Is he included in that or not? Or are you looking for just like the rest of it? Because I think
I'm looking for the entire group of linebackers to rise to the occasion. So like Mo Toure, yes.
Okay.
He's back. We have a leader. That's awesome. But who else is going to rise to the occasion to play with him?
Heard. Got it. Newcomers. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily newcomers, but
well, no, you were transitioning to newcomers. So
yes. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah. So newcomers, for me, it's pretty easy on offense, which is, I want to see a tight end do something in this offense. So Gavin Mueller, would love to see this kid bring something to the table, so that I know that, hey, the future of the position has something. Like something like you're 6'6", 260 or something. Like, please do something. And can you block? Can you catch? Can you be dynamic? All of that. Now, the other one I think is going to be surprising, because he's probably not. If he plays this year, we have a problem, or we have a really good situation because we've blown someone out. Darion Coleman.
Okay, I thought about it, but I was like, he's a little far away from the field. Tell me more.
Well, you and I have both heard through the grapevine that Darion Coleman is going to be the recruited quarterback that is the next guy that will be a starter, or at least they believe can be a starter at the University of Miami. That once we get to where Darion Coleman is ready to be the starter, there's not going to be a portal transfer that will come in and be the starter. So after you and I heard that, I immediately said, well, I guess I need to see what this kid looks like now to see if I think, okay, he can grow into a guy that could be the starter, because I think the staff has already given up on anyone else who remains on the roster at quarterback that is returning. I think that's what I hear. So
seems to be pointing in that direction,
right?
From Coral Gables, yeah,
yes. So
but definitely want to see that. Favorable comparisons in terms of arm talent to Cam Ward, even though he is very much smaller and slighter of stature, but especially with the quick release, the arm talent, the multiple arm angles. And, this is a guy, Darren Coleman, who was the quarterback for multiple 5-star receivers. Like, he was the one feeding them catches. Vernon, VB3, whatever his name is, at Florida, and, other guys on that team. Larry Miles was a 4-star who went to Jones. But like multiple 4 and 5-star receivers got their stuff boosted because he's out there, throwing dots and dropping dimes. So yeah, it will be interesting.
And listen, I want to say this before we move on. I don't need to see Darian Coleman look like he's the starter today. Right, that's not what that is not at all. I don't expect Darian Coleman to come out and look like Cam Ward. I expect Darian Coleman to come out and obviously show the issues of, hey, it's my first spring. I'm not even really technically it's not even the start, the September of my freshman year yet. So I don't expect him to come out and look like the next coming of a Heisman winner. I just want to see his skill set. I want to see what we can look forward to with Darian Coleman. Can I ask you a question? And I'm sorry that I'm doing this on the air because I feel like I should know the answer to this, but it just popped into my brain. So we'll work this out.
Let's go.
Right here, live or recorded. Did we fill out the coaching staff yet?
No.
Okay. So I wasn't wrong there. We're still missing a coach.
Yeah, still missing a coach. Mike Vitti has updated his Twitter profile.
Well, no, that I know. Yeah,
I was just saying because I saw him tweet and I followed him from the State of the U Twitter, and he immediately folled me back.
Oh, that was my story. He followed me back too, by the way.
There you go. But no, we still have one spot remaining. I am hopeful that it gets filled. But again, since you can pretty much have all the hands in the pot, you can go over, you can all hands on deck, and you have a great secondary coach anyway, so you can have that covered.
You can also have Mike Rumpf can be in somebody's ear.
That's what I meant by all hands in the pot. Anybody in the building can coach the position, and then you have other people so that even if you technically have an on-field coaching spot open, you have veteran experienced coaches and football operations people who can help bridge the gap of that opening.
Let me ask you this question, right?
Yes, sir.
Which is, and I know this is going to come up again as we get ready for the season in August, but
yeah,
how do you build on what this team did last year by going to the national championship? Do you know what I'm saying? They didn't win the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Duke. But I'm oh, okay, we went to the national championship. I guess we're pretty damn good. But yeah, Mario wants to show growth.
Yeah.
Right. Every single year.
As you should.
So just from the outside looking in, where do you want to see the growth?
Consistency. If we're taking this 1-0 every week approach, I want to see that. And I don't want to see shenanigans. I want to get rid of the infuriating Louisville loss. I want to get rid of I know that the refs made some bad calls, but we also made some bad plays and let SMU win, but it has to just be.
So is it 12-0 or bust for you?
No.
Okay.
No. It would be nice, and if it sets it up where we're in the end of November going to December where that's possible, then yeah, that's not the outset goal for me. But for me, it's minimum floor 10-2. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
and probably going towards 11. The over-under on FanDuel and other books right now is 10.5 for regular season wins, which is what we're talking about. But, so for me, it needs to be there, and that consistency gets you in the playoffs. And when you're in the playoffs, we've already demonstrated that anything can happen. That has to be what it is, and that will be the continual thing. But any growth, like overall growth, are championships, conference, national. That's really it.
So here's in the new world of college football, until it changes again. You know what that big stat is, or it's not really an official stat, but it's something that we all know exists, is quality losses.
I want 0 quality losses. None.
Well, yes, but here's what I'm going to say. If they do lose, it's how you lose. Don't lose because you are boneheaded. Right?
Yeah, but
like
also
if you're in a freaking slug it out game, and you know what? It's toe for toe, and you know what? The other team just has the ball last, and you lose on a field goal. Okay, listen, it hurts, but at least you didn't lose because you threw the game away, or you had too many penalties, or you did something boneheaded, right? Like if you played the perfect game and you just get beat on a last-second field goal, like eventually I'll live with that. It hurts, but I'll live with it. I don't, like you said, I do not want to lose in a game that we have 4 interceptions, or lose in a game where we have 7,000 penalty yards and we keep killing ourselves.
But we've lost 5 games in 2 years by a total of 25 points. Like we had the ball last in these games. Like
it's still the way you lose the game.
I don't necessarily agree, because losing a game is losing a game. And I think at that point, then you are.
I totally vehemently disagree with you. I would love to know what our listeners and watchers think. Like, do you think there's a difference in a loss? Like,
at the end of the day, you're going to look back and it's going to be an L, Brian.
Yeah, but I know, but like again, it's like how you feel. Like like Cam, I can picture myself right now sitting in the press box, going like, "Holy crap, he threw another interception to 4. There's no way we can win this game." Or
you felt
at home on the couch watching the SMU game, going, "Are you freaking like again?" Like we're.
So you would have felt good if we would have lost the Louisville game or up there with Cam Ward and them. Because it was a shootout, it was back and forth.
I'm not saying I would have felt good, but like there's something about a clean loss versus a boneheaded loss.
Loss is a loss. You're always going to have things.
I think there's something different about a loss. Like, listen, if you can't go 12-0 and no one wants to lose a game, I think there's something to be said about how you lose. I know it sounds stupid, but this is what we've learned in the year 2026 in college football.
We vehemently disagree. Do
you want to fight now?
You don't want to fight me, Brian. I'll beat you up.
No, I know that. I know that, but I feel safe.
And I don't say it all the time. But by the way, you don't want these problems.
No. But I feel safe 1,200 miles away in Boston.
Okay.
I feel safe. Plus, it's cold outside, so I'll just stay in here.
It is, and you can
don't want to go. I'm not meeting you in the schoolyard because I'll freeze, even though I grew up in this weather. But you grew up in Detroit and Michigan, and it's colder there, and I want no part of it.
Joe Louis fist, exactly. You don't want it. Pow, right in the kisser. Get out of here.
Did you also walk uphill to school both ways, like walk uphill and walk uphill going home as well?
I mean, it is well documented that I'm a private school kid my entire life, so no. See, although when I went to Cranbrook, we had 2 different campuses, so you did have to, if you didn't take the intra-school campus bus, you could walk between the campuses.
I went to private high school. I went to preparatory school as well for high school. Yeah. But I will still tell my kid, and my kid still believes that I walked up the hill for miles to get to school in the snow. So
no, I mean, I walked up the incline of my driveway every day that I had to go shovel that darn thing.
I'm sure that was taxing. Very taxing.
Look, getting up earlier in the morning because look, I had to go if it was snowing, shovel
the driveway, shovel the walk, salt, sand, all of that.
And there were some middle elderly people on my block, whose
yes,
whose children had graduated and grown up and gone away.
You had to help them.
Yeah, I had to go over and help Miss Johnson, Mr. Jackson, a couple houses down, on a school day and everything. So yeah, no, definitely.
You were nicer than I am. I helped absolutely nobody.
It was.
I sat at the end of my driveway, looked down the street, and be like, I guess the Cohens over there, they're screwed.
I would have thought that
the Saldana's next door. Sorry, they're screwed.
Then cool. So yeah, before you go over to your cousin's house, you ride your bike in the snow. Before you go over there and get your male cousin, and y'all go over on his block because there were even fewer kids to go do those things over there. Be sure, Cameron, that you go do da 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 da. That's the second full name drop of my name we've had in this show.
I know.
That's too many for me. I don't like this. What are you doing to me, Brian?
I feel like you're in timeout next.
Speaking of which, it is what it is. There's a corner right over here. I'm going to put my nose in it.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. Actually, we're not gonna take a break. We're gonna take a permanent break, not permanently like in forever, but permanently for the show. And we will be back next week, and we'll bring you the results of Pro Day. We'll bring you the results of the first day of spring practice. We'll bring you all of that. Until then, we have a basketball team to keep our eye on, which we will Friday night 10-10. I'll have to drink some coffee to stay up late for that one. And hey, if you're looking for reaction for the basketball game, I will probably do that somewhere around 1 a.m. on TikTok. So go look for the Real Ones Canes podcast on TikTok. That is growing as well. Please subscribe, like, share the show wherever you're getting it. That would be very helpful. And go check out StateofTheU.com right now. You can go check it out. See all the great content that Cam and his staff put together for you there, because it is amazing and it is free. So please do that. Cam, I urge you to have a fine rest of the week, and we will, I'm sure, be talking as the Miami Hurricanes basketball team takes on Mizzou in Missouri. All right,
yeah, man. You do the same. I don't know why you went to the snow for spring break, but if you like it, I love it for you. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I'll catch up with you soon, my friend.
Some of us still have our parents that decided to live in the snow. So here we are, being a good son and visiting mom and dad when I have the opportunity. Yeah, exactly. Look at this shade I put on. All right. We'll talk more Yiddish next time. We'll see you next time right here on the Real Ones Canes podcast. Peace.
See ya.